Hello and welcome. Over the next 40 minutes, we find out how Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Power Platform empower you to adapt to new business priorities, innovate everywhere, and improve the customer experience. Charles Lamanna joins me to unpack all of the incredible announcements we have in store. And we take your audience questions live. Let's get to it. This is Microsoft Ignite into Focus. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Caruana Gatimu. In this session, you'll see real-world examples of the capabilities that will be available in 2022 Release Wave 2. We'll save time at the end for question and answer, both in-room attendees, awesome in-room attendees, and for our fantastic digital audience. Submit your questions into the chat. And to guide us through everything, I'd like to welcome Charles Lamanna, CVP of Business Applications and Platform. Charles? Hi.
How's it going?
It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
It is so good to be here in person. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Charles.
Yes, thank you, Caruana. It's amazing to see all the faces looking back at you from the crowd for the first time in a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many new capabilities coming in 2022 Release Wave 2. Tell us a little bit about that. Oh my goodness.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to share some great demos, some great customer stories, all built out with the engineering team. We've been building some amazing capabilities over the last 6 months, and I'm also looking forward to making some big announcements about capabilities coming in the next 6 months or so.
We love big announcements. You know that. It's exciting. So, but let's dive into how the engineering team and all the customer feedback, how everything is really transforming the customer experience to customer service to finance and supply chain management. But first thing, will you help us understand how you think of business applications?
Yeah, business applications at Microsoft really are two big things, Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. And they're really unique compared to the rest of the Microsoft Cloud because they're targeted to all types of users. Whether you're a professional developer, an office worker, a first-line worker, or any other of the billions of workers out there, business apps help you get your job done more efficiently. Microsoft Dynamics 365, it unifies customers and business data, relationships, workflows, all in a single, cohesive business cloud. This reduces complexity, it brings new levels of efficiency, cross-functional engagement, and breakthrough customer experiences to every business that uses it. And we have amazing apps in Dynamics 365 to help you with sales, customer service, marketing, supply chain, finances, and a whole bunch more. On top of that, the Power Platform enables everyone to build low-code solutions that contribute to the development process, multiplying their technical capacity and helping build amazing technical abilities across organizations. And today, we'll get to see how so many different customers design integrated experiences and solutions across Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform.
That's just so much, and you hit on so many points that I think are, really important, especially we're talking a lot about low code, no code, but that is just empowering so many more people in our space. It's such a great, and I'm always talking about this, career development opportunity, right?
Yep, absolutely, and I think that's one of the things that gets us so excited at Microsoft is all the people we can get involved that maybe in the past weren't.
Right, exactly. And we saw that about the strength of your community just recently, and there's so much happening out there, and so much on Microsoft Learn that people can really lean into. So I want to ask you, what exactly can everyone look forward to in 2022 Release Wave 2? What are those plans?
Yeah,
share the stuff.
Yes, there's just so much great work that the team's been building and coming through the release wave for both Dynamics and the Power Platform. It's our second release wave of the year, and it covers all the new capabilities we have planned for today through the next 6 months into March 2023. It includes hundreds of new features and enhancements that demonstrate all of our continued investment in reimagining business apps. And as new business have to reprioritize and adjust how they're responding to changing market conditions or new customer opportunities, they need to be more agile than they've ever had to be in the past. You have to be able to adapt in order to survive. And Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform empower everyone to build mission-critical solutions for their customers, employees, and operations. At Microsoft, we're so focused on creating applications and experiences that add value to every role at every organization through data, AI, and collaboration. And up ahead, we'll share a preview of some of the biggest features and the biggest news about how you can start getting value from these capabilities today.
And because there's the pace of change that you're just talking about, and I really want to call that out because the engineering team, you're responding to the pace of change and hopefully, people's unmet needs, that even things they haven't articulated yet, you're really responding to. I think that's probably what excites me the most about it.
Yeah, me too.
I know. There's going to be a game for those following. How many times do we say excite in this segment? Yep. But that's okay. So taking into account, that overview that you just gave us, how are we going to see this in action? Like when it comes to, for instance, customer experience?
So that's a great question. And one of the things we always talk about on our team is show, don't tell. So last week we announced the general availability for Microsoft Viva Sales. Viva Sales is a seller experience that enriches Microsoft 365 applications and Microsoft Teams with brand new amazing seller workflows. And you can now automatically capture, access, and register data without having to enter it manually into any CRM system, whether it's Dynamics 365 or Salesforce, which is a huge change of how we think about transformation. It eliminates all those administrative tasks and burden of manual entry that so many sellers have to struggle with every single day, so they can spend more time focusing on selling. So, speaking of showing, not telling, let's hear from Linda Simovic, who has an amazing demo from one of our customers at Teleperformance using Viva Sales.
Great. Let's look.
For sellers, time is money. Relationships are key. Yet most sellers only spend a third of their time with customers. It's a challenge many organizations are striving to resolve. Let's take a look at how Teleperformance is using Viva Sales to reclaim time and boost morale for their sellers. Teleperformance is a global business process outsourcing and customer experience service provider. With customer engagement split between Salesforce and sellers' personal outlooks, seller productivity was impacted as they were manually updating multiple systems to keep data accurate and activity synchronized in all applications. To provide ultimate service to their customers, capturing data uniformly and correctly is critical. Teleperformance is currently using Viva Sales to have a better grasp on their customers while improving sellers' employee experience. With Outlook plus Viva Sales, their sellers can see contacts already in Salesforce and those not. They can easily add new or missing contacts and even edit existing ones directly from here. The information is auto-filled from the email signature. These changes sync to their Salesforce in real time, solving the classic problem of cataloging and maintaining customer contacts centrally. The account and opportunity data from Salesforce connected to Contact are available everywhere they interact with them, Outlook or Teams. It's possible to drill down to the record to get additional details without ever leaving the tool. For data visibility and reporting, Teleperformance mandates entry of specific customer events, tasks, and emails. Prior to Viva Sales, most customer engagement data wasn't captured because this information was documented in personal calendars. Now, Viva Sales allows the sellers to save an email or a meeting from Outlook to an account or opportunity in Salesforce with a single click, allowing them to maintain the relationship trail. Before meeting the customer, instead of searching for emails or notes, the sellers can now open the customer card and review previous meeting summaries, allowing them to prepare proposals faster by sharing relevant information with their colleagues. In the last couple of months, Teleperformance has been working with Microsoft to further expand their adoption by including additional features. Customer experience is key for them and have been thoughtful of their approach on adopting call recording and transcription capabilities. Soon, their sellers will be able to rely on the AI assistant to note down all key points while they provide their undivided attention to the customer during virtual meetings. After the call, the meeting summary will provide a list of attendees and discussion highlights with clear follow-ups, which they can edit to make it more personalized to their workflow. To keep their managers updated on deals, they can share the summary with them. This will allow the managers to provide coaching for future engagements. Through Viva Sales, Teleperformance sellers can now wow their customers through personalized engagements without ever worrying about the tool on hand. Data entry is no longer a burden, but an asset for improved interactions. Sellers are productive and more connected to their customers.
I love that story. That's really a great example of putting the people first, giving them that integrated experience right where they are.
Yeah, right in the flow of work. So you're not changing between Outlook and Teams. It's just now enlightened to support everything you need to do a better sales process.
Absolutely. Viva Sales is super innovative that way. But, there's more. I know there's more.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and inside of Viva Sales, the big thing is that we really focus on reimagining the sales process and empowering salespeople. And the important thing there was that AI-driven data entry and data automation and insights, so productivity is at as high as it possibly can be without feeling like the tools are slowing down the sellers.
And it embraces people working in either Outlook or Teams, whatever they're most comfortable in.
Yep.
Right? It's not about either or, it's about both. So that's fantastic. So our show is just getting started. I want to remind everyone to submit your questions for our question and answer session later. Go ahead and put them in chat, and we'll also take some questions from our live studio audience. So, all right, Charles, so we've seen some examples of how Microsoft's impacting the customer experience, but what about when it comes to customer service?
There has been a generational shift in how consumers engage with companies, and that also has changed what they expect from customer service and customer support. A key part of that is that engagement is increasingly being done through digital channels like a live web chat or Apple Business Message or social media. Who wants to pick up a phone and make a phone call these days? I don't want to do that. And the challenge faced by many of our customers from Microsoft is that their contact centers are built on disconnected legacy systems that don't talk to each other, were built for voice and telephony, and these disconnected systems lead to really inconsistent customer experiences. And the consumer ends up paying the price and hitting the seams between all these different systems. And a good example of that is if you want to go from, say, chat to a phone call or back and forth, you usually have to start over, share your name again, your address, do your credit card number, that type of thing. So to really help address these challenges, many of our customers are using Dynamics 365 Customer Service to improve how they engage and support those customers. And the big announcement we had earlier this year is the Microsoft Digital Contact Center Platform, a seamless end-to-end contact center solution. So in addition to being integrated with the Digital Contact Center platform, we also are able to use amazing AI to help with automation and delight everyone involved in the customer journey, the agent and the customer themselves. So in just a second, we'll have Charles Drayton walk through an amazing demo that really highlights how the healthcare organization Baylor Scott & White were able to personalize omni-channel services and deliver preventative care using Dynamics.
That is incredibly important. Let's go ahead and check that out.
Healthcare organizations today are being evaluated on their ability to deliver preventative services and improve overall health outcomes for the communities they serve. One way they're meeting this challenge is through more personalized omnichannel services. Baylor Scott & White is among the leaders in the United States in overall patient experience. Leveraging our digital contact center platform, Baylor Scott & White has been able to streamline patient communications through a combination of personalized self-service and an AI-driven contact center. Let's explore how the new features in the Release Wave 2 of Dynamics 365 Customer Service can support patient relations teams through enhancements in omnichannel engagement. Let's check it out. At Baylor Scott & White, the patient relations team serves as an advocate for patients and a liaison to address concerns. Lillian is one such liaison. Over the course of the day, she receives a wide array of inquiries through multiple channels from patients. Our new intelligent routing capabilities and preferred agent matching pair patients with Lillian based upon her specialty, availability, workload, and relationship history. As a specialist in oncology and women's health, Lillian is matched with a patient who missed an appointment for a mammogram. With the enhanced layout for the customer service workspace, Lillian can see both incoming and outgoing communications with patients across multiple channels on a single screen. An improved timeline gives Lillian a summary of previous interactions with the patient. Lillian sees that the patient was initially contacted through an automated text message. This text message was generated by the Dynamics customer journey orchestration when she missed her appointment. She's able to reschedule her appointment through the virtual assistant, but she had a question about the procedure that requires Lillian's assistance. One of the most common reasons for missed screenings is trepidation about the results. And indeed, Lillian uncovers that this is why the patient missed her appointment. So an AI-suggested knowledge article addresses many of those common fears patients have about mammograms. Lillian shares the article with the patient through the chat's auto-reply. A transcript and conversation summary are automatically generated, which improves the intelligence of the contact center and provides valuable insights for future patient service engagements. Lillian looks for the next case in a customer service workspace's new inbox. With overflow rules, patients no longer have to remain on hold to wait for a liaison to answer. They can instead leave a voicemail, and that'll prompt an automatic callback. This message is a question about another patient's bill. The patient said her last visit was not covered by insurance, and she wants to know what her options are as she isn't sure how she can afford to pay. To understand more about why the bill wasn't covered and to suggest some alternatives, Lillian begins a swarm. One of the newest enhancements to swarming is the ability to automatically add participants based upon the skills required. Tasks are then generated for each swarm member. Upon initiating a swarm, the AI adds a care coordinator and a financial counselor. Now, through Microsoft Teams, the swarm members can see Lillian's question and can view the pertinent details about the patient from within Teams. After reviewing the eligibility criteria, the swarm eventually decides on the best course of action. They choose to issue a letter of medical necessity to the insurance company, and then they enroll the patient in a financial assistance program. This program will allow the patient to make discounted payments for any remaining balance. Lillian uses the new callback feature to share her findings with the patient. The patient confirms her identity with biometric voice authentication and discusses the options with Lillian. And simultaneously, she's able to use dynamic, sophisticated automation capabilities to initiate enrollment in a financial assistance program. She does all of this right from within the workspace, and all Lillian needs is a verbal confirmation to complete it. The patient is relieved that Baylor Scott & White has someone who is looking out for her, and Lillian is thrilled to do her part in improving the lives of the people she serves.
Wow, so that digital contact center platform really does bring dynamic groups of people together to solve problems.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're hoping to do with Digital Contact Center platform. It's an open platform that combines a bunch of different technologies like Dynamics 365, Nuance, Power Platform, Teams, and Azure. And that open platform supports any kind of customer to have that type of experience. And it enables organizations to really take what they've already invested in the past and easily add new combinations of capabilities like agent coaching, the omni-channel support, or the case or agent desktop experience right inside their contact center to take it to the next level. And you can get started with just any one of those individual pieces and start delaying your customers, or take the whole thing all at once. The platform is really designed to transform everything about the contact center and the customer experience.
Man, that is just really cool. So I want to pivot to a really hot topic, finance and supply chain management. These areas have been impacted in such profound ways over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I think these are great complements and extensions of what people do when it comes to the sales process or say customer support. Is you have to actually fulfill the operations,
right.
Put stuff on a truck and ship it out through delivery. So a lot of really important aspects of these things coming together.
Absolutely. So maybe we can start with finance operations. What are some of those biggest areas of change that you've seen?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, that with all of this change in consumer and customer behavior, there's also a need for every business to fundamentally update their core operations across finance and supply chain. That's because of things like new business models, hybrid work, gig economy, global market volatility. It's reshaping everything about the enterprise, and this is no more true than inside of ERP systems. Right. And what's great is inside of Dynamics 365, we can help optimize both financial and operating models to help make your organization more resilient and more agile given all of these changes. And we do that by connecting data within and outside the Microsoft Cloud, and we transform that into actionable insights. And the next demo that we have queued up is from Vandana Sharma, which shares how our customer, Columbus Global, is using the latest set of features we have to streamline their financial operations.
How often do you hear, we need to find a way to get this done? With major labor shortages, supply chain issues, and new business models, we know you're regularly reimagining the way you work. CFOs need intelligent finance, project operations, and HR capabilities that lift their employees up as they pivot their approach. We make this simple and uncomplicated by delivering one solution with all of the capabilities you need for both your service-centric and product-centric business. Let's take a look at our latest features with our customer, Columbus Global. Columbus Global acts as the digital trusted advisor for organizations across the globe as they reimagine their businesses. One of their many offerings is subscription consultancy services. Using our new enhancements, their service sellers can now easily provide subscription quotes to customers. It's easy to specify a billing schedule as well as split the bill across multiple parties. Using the new project quote estimation experience, they can also visualize the estimated margin and total estimated revenue for quotes. Once a deal is signed, the project kicks off with a streamlined sales handover as teams are connected in the same workflow. Using the embedded Microsoft project capabilities, the PM creates tasks, dependencies, and dates right in our finance offering. They update resource assignments and review the financial estimates and the schedule. Using these, they can create a budget as well as a read-only baseline of the project plan. Now the team is set up for an on-time and on-budget delivery. As team members deliver results, they can easily report their time on specific projects with the updated native modern experience, as well as log expenses using the new modern mobile expenses app. It's so easy to capture this information in the moment, reducing delays and avoiding inaccuracies, all providing better visibility into project profitability. Project invoices can now be bulk confirmed, and the project controller can generate them in a timely manner based on the time and material or subscription invoice schedule on the contract. They can easily recognize revenue on these projects thanks to the subscription-based invoicing and revenue recognition capabilities. For service-based companies, having the right talent is critical to delivering promised customer outcomes. New HR capabilities make the training and onboarding processes more streamlined than ever, meaning employees can start working on projects faster. Improved employee leave tools make planning more predictable. With new hires onboarded, tailored benefits notifications keep them on track with all deadlines. The updated virtual training capabilities ensure employees have the skills needed to make immediate impact on projects. We've seen today just a portion of the amazing new features in our finance offering.
As you heard from Vandana, we deliver a comprehensive solution that all the necessary capabilities that you need are contained in just one solution to reimagine your entire operations.
That was fantastic. Now, Charles, let's get to that other half we were discussing earlier, supply chain management.
Yeah, and this is another key area where we're helping customers reimagine the way they work. And like you said earlier, we've seen profound change over the last couple of years. Major shocks of supply and demand during the pandemic have exposed the vulnerabilities of the global supply chain, with nearly 70% of supply chain leaders responding to major disruptions since 2019. In the next video, we'll see and we'll show how Dynamics 365 can help our customers digitally transform supply chains without replacing existing systems and enable businesses to turn their supply chains into a competitive advantage.
I cannot wait to see this.
Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management can help your organization exceed customer expectations, mitigate financial risks, and make a significant impact. Let's explore the new features in the release wave 2. Meet Ryan, an inventory and planning manager. One of his key objectives is to hold the optimum level of inventory without tying up too much capital. Leveraging the inbuilt supplier performance dashboard, he learns that there is a high probability that one of his key suppliers can't deliver compressors on time. This is a big risk, since the compressor is a key component for the heat pumps that his customers are waiting on. Ryan acts immediately, using the new sourcing from vendors in other regions feature to overcome the risk. Ryan is also focused on predictable delivery. In the past, this meant consulting different systems, finding back emails, and being on the phone most of his day. Now, with the new Allocate and Reserve WHS items in Inventory Visibility feature, he can reserve on-hand inventory for his most strategic and profitable distributor. Next, with the Demand-Driven Materials Requirements Planning feature, he can protect and promote the flow through the supply chain with strategically placed decoupling point stock buffers. It tells him how much inventory to hold and adjusts them dynamically based on different events. This means Ryan sees an increase in customer service levels, optimized inventory carrying costs, and prevented stockouts. Ryan also wants to increase agility and productivity in his warehouses. When responding to the need for additional Swedish satellite warehouses to accommodate bursts in demand, he accelerates implementation using the Guided Warehouse Implementation Wizard, delivering faster time to value. Using the new packing capability feature within the Warehouse mobile app, workers can now pack, label, and ship goods quickly without being tied to fixed packing stations. Communication has also improved thanks to the new Display Product Information in the User's Language feature. With the new capabilities in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management, you can further improve your inventory visibility and planning and agility of your warehouses.
I just think it's so meaningful how Microsoft is helping businesses, meet these profound challenges.
And that's what Dynamics 365 is all about. It enables companies to gain end-to-end visibility, improve their planning, increase inventory turns, and optimize fulfillment in warehouses. Like, how cool is that, actually optimizing warehouses? So manufacturers, they can build these agile and incredibly connected factories that proactively manage the shop floor using a real-time view of their production and inventory to boost throughput, quality, and uptime, all while reducing emissions and operating more sustainably. So retailers can meet their demand fluctuations and e-commerce needs with pop-up warehouses, automated with robots, and optimized reverse logistics. And it even further enables businesses to rapidly adopt new business models, like supporting subscription-based services and deliver a great customer experience while doing it. The future is incredibly bright all around the supply chain area.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So just to recap, we've seen how Dynamics 365 and Power Platform impact the customer experience and customer service and meet modern finance and supply chain needs. So next up, I want to talk about low code. It's something we're all, really passionate about. It's super fun. And it's because it empowers pretty much anybody, right, to be a developer and to get into understanding solving business problems. And there's exciting new announcements in Release Wave 2, right?
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
Big shock,
yes.
That's why you're here.
The Power Platform, like you mentioned, enables everyone to create solutions with the world's most complete set of low-code development tools. So whether you like to use no-code, like purely visual drag-and-drop development, or low-code by mixing in some expressions like PowerFX, DAX, or M, or going all the way to pro code by dropping a JavaScript or calling Azure services, you can do all of it inside the Power Platform. You can easily analyze, act, and automate anything that you can think of at work.
All right, so can you talk us through each part of that?
Absolutely, and I think a lot of folks have used one, but not all of the Power Platform. And there are 5 different pieces inside the Power Platform, all with a single unifying vision of no-code, low-code, pro-code. Power BI is the world's most used self-service BI tool. It's been the runaway leader in Gartner MQs for years. Power Apps is the most used low-code app development platform in the world and is recognized as the leader by analysts across the industry. Power Automate is the main automation platform choice for companies, covering cloud automation and robotic process automation, or RPA. Power Virtual Agents makes it easy so you can build chatbots or conversational experience with AI. And last but not least, our newest addition, Power Pages, provides an easy way to build websites inside the Power Platform. By the way, Power Pages just went GA today.
Yep. That's great. That's
the great
awesome.
thing.
We're happy about that. It's exciting.
And the great thing about all the Power Platform pieces is that they're great on their own, but they're even better when you use them together. And that's what we're going to see in this next demo.
I have to see this right now. Let's throw it over to the amazing Lydia for more.
Your partner calls. Honey, I think we should change our internet provider. We all know how stressful changing providers can be. Try making that change as a large business, and the stress is multiplied by 100. Lumen has found a better way. They provide adaptive connectivity to business customers in 60 countries and decided to design a process supported by Power Platform that sets a new standard for changing internet providers. Lumen's original process involved capturing customer information in a mass of offline documents and spreadsheets. They simplified this by moving the end-to-end process and its data to Dataverse. Right now, you might be thinking, Dataverse is too complex for me. We believe Dataverse is for everyone, so we integrated it everywhere in our Power App Studio. Let's see how easy it is for Lumen employees to create a business app to store customer information in less than 25 seconds. In a brand new blank app, they click Add, select Table and Form view, and then select the tables that they want to have in the business application. A few seconds later, it's done. We just created rich experiences for all of those tables without having to place a single control, formula, or layout. We can sort and filter by any of the columns, and if users want to slice and dice the data in richer ways, with just one click, we can automatically generate a Power BI dashboard from the Dataverse data. What's more, as Lumen builds out various applications to capture information relating to migration, it's easier than ever to collaborate. Using the same co-authoring capabilities that users are used to in Office 365, we're waving goodbye to the era of asking your peers to jump out of the app so that you can work on it, meaning teams can create faster than ever. For Lumen employees who want support building out an app, the new Maker Matching capability, which is delivered with an integrated virtual agent, guides them to learning content or experienced advisors within their organization who can help them. These well-connected internal communities ensure employees can create more successful low-code solutions. So, with the migration process now existing in Dataverse, it's time to explore Power Platform. Power Platform gives their employees with no developer background the ability to redesign the migration process in a way that is much more efficient and simple. The end result is one underpinned with automation that seamlessly engages the right teams at each stage of the process. Let's look at a few examples of the tools that they have access to. The first stage of the Lumen B2B process is, of course, engaging with the customer. It's really helpful to have a site for customers to visit to access more information about the migration process. Instead of needing to burden IT, using Power Pages, the sales team can build and update that site. Let's see how. In the Power Pages Maker Studio, they start designing. It's so easy to drag and drop content like Power BI dashboards and surveys that previously would have required a pro dev. What's more, for Fusion teams who want to do more advanced customizations, a pro dev can jump straight into VS Code with one click. No need to download any tools, and changes are immediately reflected back in Maker Studio. Being able to build these without relying on IT means that the site can be updated to reflect new information with no delay. Once a deal has been signed, the work is handed over to the migration team. Instead of relying on the busy sales team to send an email and share the context, it can be automatically shared with the migration team in Teams. How? Citizen developers in the migration team can create a flow using Power Automate. Something I'm hugely excited to share is that now they can create a natural language flow. The migration team lead could simply type their request. When a new deal is signed, send a message on Teams, and the flow is ready to go. This is just one example of the automation that citizen developers can set up to streamline their process and save precious time. Natural language takes Power Automate to an entirely new level. So the data appears in Teams in a card. Hold on, what's a card? Cards is a brand new feature of Power Apps that lets employees create tiny task-specific apps that are used right in the Teams chat. When a new migration is approved, the Power Automate flow, created using natural language, is kicked off, and the migration team lead receives a card in Teams. As you can see, the card presents them with the deal context and the ability to choose which team member to assign to lead migration. There's no need to wait on details from the sales team or jump into a separate solution to get context. It's simply presented exactly where the migration leader is already working, in Teams. The team has the visibility they need with far less effort. How is the card built? A citizen developer starts off in the familiar low-code designer. Here, they find our handy data connectors, including Dataverse, the single source of truth for the entire program. They can easily design the card layout, including pulling data in from a variety of sources. The Assign to Project Manager button can be powered by the goodness of Power FX. After any final changes, the card is ready to go. We've seen today how Lumen has been able to build a world-class migration process that stops the phrase, we're changing internet providers in its tracks. With the entire process sitting on Dataverse, Lumen employees with no developer background are able to innovate and transform their approach, thanks to Power Platform. This power is available to you today.
We have seen these amazing capabilities in the real world, which you know I love. I want to thank you also for your support of the Microsoft community. People come there to learn new skills, to meet each other. You've been a great partner in that, and there's just so much. As a technologist, how important is community to you?
It's everything. I think that what we see is really products that are actually game-changing and fundamentally shifting how people work and how they skill and where they go pursue careers can only really be enabled if there's a community which supports, fosters, and lifts up others who are trying to join and use that product. And what we see is communities which are more open and kind of going and trying to find people from different backgrounds and different perspectives to bring them into the fold are the ones which get the most enduring success over time. So for Power Platform, where people ask me kind of what helps it grow so quickly, why is it kind of showing up all over the place? The community is item number 1, item number 2, item number 3. And I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you, Caroline. So.
Everybody knows. I love that. But you have an awesome community success team too. And so we've done a lot of work together and had a lot of great announcements here at Ignite. We'll talk some more about that with our partner Jeff too. So that'll be fantastic. But now what we really want to do is turn it over to all of you here at Microsoft Ignite into focus. We know you have some questions, so let's go ahead and get to them. I think we're going to take one from online. It's going to come from chat. And Edgar Aguilar asks, I would like to try all of these new products. Where can I go to try them for myself? Maybe through a VM?
So the good news about just about everything that you saw through the demos today, it's all available online, delivered through a SaaS product. So all you need is an Azure Active Directory account, and you can easily create one of those if you don't have one. And you can get building your first app in Power Apps in a minute. You can get Viva Sales configured in a minute. You can go start spinning up Dynamics 365 customer service in a minute. No credit card required, unless there's like a fraud check or something. No credit card required. And you can get in that trial at no cost. And that's one of the big things which is so exciting about business apps and the Power Platform is you don't have to go install or set anything up. Just right in your browser, you can get value and try it in just a very short period of time.
Access is everything. That's awesome.
Yes.
Now we have one from here in the audience.
Hi, Jonathan Graham Almac. So we currently have a thriving Power BI citizen developer community, and we're looking to grow this into the Power Apps citizen developer. What new features or future features on the platform will really help manage the governance of as we expand out into the citizen developer world for Power Apps?
Yep. So this is a great question. So one of the other big announcements we had at Ignite today was the GA of something called Managed Environments, which provide a way to manage the development experience and development framework for citizen developers around data loss prevention policies, reporting and visibility of what they're building, as well as even limitations around sharing or the tutorials people see when they first get started. So managed environments are a huge step forward in providing systematic guidance and enforcement for citizen developer communities. We also have great support in things like the Automation Center of Excellence Toolkit, which was a recent announcement too. So you can go track and manage the return on investment of every one of these solutions that gets built. Because what we've seen is with Power Platform, it's kind of this new idea, low code, no code. We're really at the vanguard of disruption. And a lot of companies are trying to figure out what is the actual business value. And we all know if we live in it, there's a ton of value. But we got bosses, we have to build reports and share it, and that Automation COE toolkit makes it really easy to show the value of all those citizen developers. So I say check out Managed Environments, check out the Automation COE toolkit. And one of my favorite announcements that we had recently was we now support Power BI artifacts inside of Dataverse solutions, so you can deploy apps, BI reports, workflows, everything all in one go. And we've been working kind of across all these different teams to enable that for at least 18 months. So hopefully you can give any of those 3 things a try.
I love that. That's a great answer. There's so much insight, excitement in this space, and I want to thank the audience, both online and here in the room, for their great questions. And our show has just flown by. The last thing is, what are you most excited about in Release Wave 2?
And it's hard to kind of pick your favorite of like all your little children, but I'd say there's just so much great work that's been released. And what we're really going to do to expand on that is We're going to have basically a launch event later this month, the Business Applications Virtual Launch Event like we do every 6 months. And it's going to go even deeper to all the capabilities in Release Wave 2 and cover all the great content and also with on-demand deep dives. And if I did have to pick one, I would have to say it's the AI-powered Power Automate CloudFlow thing where you can just use natural language and it builds a workflow. That is just the beginning of something really special, we think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fantastic. Thank you for sharing the stage with me today. Thank you so much for being here, Charles.
And thank you, Caruana. I really appreciate you hosting.
I don't know about all of you, but I thought I was excited before about Release Wave 2, and now I'm really excited. There's so many things for me to go learn and try. What a testament to how Microsoft continues to make real-world impact with business applications near and dear to my heart. Before we send you off today, I want to remind you to continue learning within the community and on Microsoft Learn. There's so many more ways to do that, like participating in local events, meeting your peers in our online forums, or expanding your skills with the Cloud Skills Challenge. Thank you so much for getting into focus with me. I'm Caruana Gatimu. Have a great Microsoft Ignite, and I'll see you soon.